Welcome to Lightroom Photography. My name is Janus Dirksen and today I took some images. It's Corona time, so all the weddings have been cancelled or delayed until the end of the year or next year, and so the most people that I can photograph is my son, my girlfriend and me, and so today I took some images just of me. The idea was to get some images with the sun going down, and the idea was to go out late, so in the evening when the sun is really getting low, not totally gone, but you can still see it in the background, and I shoot against the sun. So the sun is in the background, which gives a really nice glowing light. And I also took some images with the sun in the front of me, but I took most of the images with the sun in the back because that is what I wanted to go for. Now usually when I photograph at any time. I don't make the shooting around time, I make the shooting around the people. And most people are people that I photograph on the streets, and so it doesn't really matter how the weather is or how the sun is or where the sun stands. And when I do it with myself, I of course have much more control over the scenario and the sun. I can decide, go I out early, go I out during the day when the sun is high, or do I go out in the evening? And I decided to get some shots in the evening. I have some accessories here, these scarves, sunglasses or glasses, a hat, jacket, up or open, and so there's a variety of looks that you can create just with a little bit of equipment. It doesn't need much. It's one camera, the 60 Mark II, and one lens, the 85 1.2L 2 lens, and that's it. To get images like this, I show you now the video how I took these images. I always want to show and inspire, so I always try to film these photo shoots, which is not always easy having too much stuff around when you're doing this all by yourself, which this whole channel is created as a one-man army. But sometimes the hard way is sometimes the best way, because you learn a lot, and the more difficult something is, the better you become. So having an easy way is not always the best way. Having a difficult way will make more out of you, and so I always like the challenge of doing things on my own, because I have to control this camera and this camera, be in front of the camera and behind the camera. And even though it's difficult is always a good thing for me, because I'm proud of it afterwards. If it's easy, there is no feeling of pride. If it's difficult, the feeling of pride is even bigger, the higher the difficult level is. So I always welcome difficulty. So I show you the video now, and also the images that I took with the 62 85 1.2 lens. What you need to take these images, or kind of these images, is a tripod. It doesn't matter if it's a small or big tripod, a camera with autofocus, with face detection, which many cameras today have. In camera, the best way would be a flip-out screen, which many Canon cameras have. Canon is today the only full-frame camera manufacturer who has this. Fuji is coming up with flip screens like this, and I think the whole photography industry is coming up with flip screens like this for the vlogging area. For the people like me who photograph themselves or with the family, it's a really beautiful thing. With 85mm, just get in front of the camera and you see yourself on the flip-out screen. So I shoot mostly wide open, f1.2 to 2.0, to get that blurry background, but also to see, can I use this lens on this camera at f1.2 shooting against the sun. The idea was to have the sun in the background, so you got the glowing light, the beautiful atmosphere, the warm colors. I also took some shots with the light in front of me, like I'm standing now, but most of the images I took me on the opposite, so the sun is in the background and you see the glowing light and the warmth which you get when the sun is behind you and really low. So I hope you can learn a little bit from this. What I want you to get is you can do a lot on your own, even when there is no one you can photograph right now. Try to do it on your own, so you practice photography. Get some images of yourself for your parents, print them an image for their birthday, for example, of you, so they have something to show to their friends and other neighbors and family members. Also, what I want you to see is that photography is very creative. You can photograph into this direction with the sun in the background. You can photograph into this direction where I'm standing now. You can photograph against this wall here. And there are no real boundaries. You have to be open to it and experiment with it. I see photography like a child sees a playground. He can play in this area or over there, or play ball with these kids, or go over there or play with the sand. So there are many ways to get fulfilled in enjoyment and joy out of the moment and create great memories. Photography is, I think, endless if you go with it in a creative, open way. I hope I can inspire you a little bit and also show you that it doesn't need much time and not much equipment. One camera, one lens. I use a remote control to take the images. Accessories, I have some glasses, these ones, the jacket open and closed. I have a hat also, but everything I have fits into this bag, and so I don't need no one around me to do this. It would be easier with someone filming, but it's more difficult alone, and I like difficulty. Corona time is very difficult. There is no money coming in, but that is also a nice challenge to try to rethink our habits, our spending habits, our relationship to money, our relationship to work, what we take for granted. Now, for me, income is mostly photographing people, and I can't do this now, so there is kind of no real income, which is fine because it forces me to get in an intense situation with myself and be happy with very little, which I also find positive. I always like difficulty, and it's a choice. I could stand here and complain about being all the weddings not taking place, but I stand here and I'm happy that we are all good in terms of health, and I want to give you a positive signal here that even when times are difficult financially, try to get a positive out of it. For me, if the milk is empty, there's no more milk, and I don't want to go to the supermarket just for one thing, because every time you go out, it's a risk of getting in touch with the virus. So I think let's make a challenge of 30 days without milk. Now you might say, but I want the milk for my coffee. Now then is the nice opportunity to say, I drink so much coffee, let me go 30 days with tea. Or if you don't have any meat and you want to go to the supermarket, but you may think you may get infected with the virus just to buy one thing, you may say, I go when nothing is in the fridge anymore. And you can say, I try 30 days without meat. Let me be a vegetarian for 30 days. So instead of seeing a lag, see it as an opportunity. I always try to approach life like this. Every difficulty makes more out of me. And I hope I can give you a positive signal with these photo shoots, with this YouTube channel, which is based on the passion of photography. And I try to share as much as I can. Most of this is free stuff that I do after paid photo shoots, and it gives me a lot of joy, and I hope that transfers also to you. Thank you very much.
You and me, like the king and the queen, living more than just life and above the dream. You and me, build up the love for lifetime, we're above the skyline, angels fly beside us. You and me, went from boy and girl to wife and husband, finally life became fantastic. You and me, the lovers couples can meth with, take love like addicts. Without you I panic, without you I couldn't handle this stuff in my heart. Cause I had to separate those who fuck and who love. Cause most smiles ain't real, last words get lost. And you have found the love I want, and it's worth all costs. You and me, like the king and the queen, living more than just life and above the dream. You and me, like the prince and the princess, and we love each other even though we've been dressed. You and me, like the husband and the wife, making life so precious without money, but a child. You and me, the lovers couples can meth with, take love like addicts. Without you I'll panic. The king for my kingdom, the prince for my bed. This is what I found in you. The father for my child, the boy in my past is you. Alright, now close my eyes and remember you. When you're gone I have to depend on you. So when you leave I'm left with just some of your pictures, but I can't talk to them, either squeeze them like I did. Yeah, I'm the baby, you're my mother beside me. Protect me at night, even in my dreams you guide me. Life was nothing until you gave sense to it, and as long as we're together there's no end to it. Now I love you from the bottom of my heart. I say I love you from the bottom of my. You and me, like the king and the queen, living more than just life and above the dream.
You and me,
like the prince and the princess, and we love each other even though we've been
you
dressed
and me,
like the husband and the wife, making life so precious without money but a child.
you and me.
Like the boy and the girl, live and enjoy the new world, and nothing else first but you.
I love you, I love you, I love you, love you, I love you, I love you. The king for my kingdom, the prince for my bed. This is what I found in you. The father for my child, the boy in my past is you.
When we got ourselves, yo, the world don't matter. Doing work on leisure without a girl, there's no pleasure.
I love you from the bottom of my
Yo, from life till death, until the time will rest, I'll be forever hanging at your chest.
I love you from the bottom of my heart. You and me,
Like the king and the queen, living more than just life and above the dream.
you and me,
Like the prince and the princess, and we love each other even though we've been
you
dressed
and me,
like the husband and the wife, making life so precious without money but a child.
you and me.
Like the boy and the girl, live and enjoy the new world, and nothing else first but
I
you.
love you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I don't ask for nothing but the sunshine. The race is going one day to blind my eyes, and birds fly around like you can move from wind, fly until they find the place where you have been. Ask for the direction and it's back in time. The workaholics they will say you die, but knowing you'd come back, children await you. She open them doors and make them faithful. Nightmares vanish, dreams come true. It's what they say every time they're seeking you. Time starts to tick, air starts to breathe. They wonder what means the day to me. I never thought about waking up in dreams. Never thought about being me. I never thought about just breaking it up. I'm breaking it stuff, I'm breaking it up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and take me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up. People in the world are going to work like them beggars don't take your hand, remaining in dirt, and you melt them snow, let them trees grow tall, and the seasons go by while you won't leave at all. You're the hope and the strength they'll let her wake up to reach, and one life to spend. You count our days, you count our time till then. It's you from the tummy we are born in until the day we end. Can't be bought, can't be taken. Give us light that get us to our happy ending. And each second we're living, and each breath we are breathing is cause of you. But they cause you're not leaving, and if you come back just some hours later, the first thing I see in the morning when I wake up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and take me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up. Whoa, it's like another day's born, but I'm sadly dying. People pass my so long, it's now lasting a while. Did I finally look bright and just open my eyes? Touch my guys in disguise, damn if you needn't wear Christ. I'm a sleepwalker, walking don't know for sure if it's me that is breathing, that is leaving static core. I'm looking for a solution. Life's an illusion. I need to feel it there. You can push it.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and take me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
Another day is born.
Come and take me up.
Another day is born.
Come and wake me up.
The rain starts pouring down the road, and she stops walking, watching those around, but they're ignoring her views and frowns, knowing she's alone, drowning to her soul, knowing she's alone, with the raindrops on her nose, she's alone, knowing no one wants to know that she's alone. She's looking up to these endless clouds. Sunshine can reach her, at least not now. She goes forward with her head held down, knowing she's alone. Grounded to her soul, knowing she's alone. The world into her home, she's alone, knowing no one wants to know that she's alone. She's a ghost, left by ghosts. Her heart throws by her hope, but no one knows.
For the stuff I'm going to handle it, it's gonna mess with you. You might not laugh, you might not cry, you're gonna test it too. You might not come to the point, I run to the right and run to the point, I might not laugh, might not cry, I might not get into. It might not come to the point when I wanna follow you, it's a wrong and I wanna leave you now when I need you now. It's not a way to hide. It's not a day like this, it's not a day like that. It's not a day, it's another day, it's another day right back. I might not come with you now, I wanna never go when a boy, I wanna go, not go, and no, no. It's not a day like this. It was the day where we kissed. It was the day that we missed it. It was the day I met the first time I mistress. I might not laugh when I cry. It's a moment that I feel inside. You might not get, you might not come, you might not want me die. You might not laugh, might not cry, might not take my time, might not stay here for the rest of your life. Of your life. For the rest of your life. Of your life. Of your life. For the rest of your life.
was a picture, but I can figure it out. Like glasses between us, I can't be breaking it down. My fist in the chair, sometimes glass breaks by a kiss of air. I never noticed this Mr. Girl. I like to hold my mouth shut by your hand before she started to let some shots burst. I'm sad, but she's crying. I'm there, but she didn't nice me. I wanna hug her, she doesn't even want me beside it. No, something ain't right here. But the man did it right, didn't he? I'm not here of duty, but willingly. And sometimes your words are killing me. My love imprisons me, and I can't respond. Sing more, I'm dumb, then these words be wrong. And I love you ain't enough. I need you ain't that tough. I want you, don't speak love. Words are leaving me. Still think that my girl's mistreating me, and she hates me any moment because I believe in me. When I speak truth, she think that I'm not meaning it, and I fed you with love. Every night you give me the feeling like you go to bed with a slut. No matter what you say, girl, I can't say about this. Why my mind's overfilled, but I can't tell the stuff. Fuck. Every kiss, every touch, every smile, every itch, every cut, every cry, we put up and destroyed from the girl and the boy who we were. We're standing on the bridge ready to turn. All the hits, all the crowds and goodbyes, all the wishes that we've had deep inside, we put up and destroyed from the girl and the boy who we were. And the bridge is now ready to burn. Sometimes it feels like my love is a foreigner. Don't speak my language, and for that she is glorious. Treat me like my words were just nothing to listen to, and sleep in my bed, but act like there's nothing I'm giving you. Leave the house with at least a kiss or a smile, like you've been glad to leave me. Spend your time without me. No, I'm left alone here, but you come home. But somehow I then even feel more lonely. Can't remember why we came together, and find a reason why we stay together. I asked you sometime, but you just showed it back. Broke the glass, I try to fix it. Use my feelings for glue when I finally did it. But you prefer hatred to love and fist to hands. Sometimes it feels like you want me to bitch instead of your man. It just feels like a competition, who stands this longer, just to show, girl, that you are stronger. But the chains on our arms and we threw the key away. You're trying to break them, feels like a chainsaw. Every time you wanna separate, you saying you hate love. Look at me like I'm betraying you, maybe cause I stay with you. Cause the hope won't leave that you might change. And the next weeks or maybe days, some month which will turn to years. We will wake up like today, but we won't cry these tears. Every kiss, every touch, every smile, every itch, every cut, every cry, we put up and destroyed from the girl and the boy who we were. We're standing on the bridge ready to turn. All the hits, all the crowds and goodbyes, all the wishes that we've had deep inside, we've put up and destroyed from the girl and the boy who we were. And the bridge is now ready to burn. Time destroyed us when my smiles annoy ya. I open my mouth and you get paranoia. I don't dare asking, girl, if you've been loyal. Not because I fear you, but I fear the answer. You're the human, girl, and I'm the cancer, the disease you suffer from, and the medicine you swallow.
Now before we leave, let me show you some of the images here in camera. I just skip through them and you see how easily actually it is to get images like this now with the autofocus system, with the face detection. Even when you use sunglasses or a hat, the camera catches your face, and I'm shooting at f1.2, which is actually pretty difficult normally with older cameras, but with the technology today you can get really nice images even wide open at 1.2 and get most of them pretty sharp depending on how fast you're moving. And just before I leave, let me show you here. For example, I'm shooting with the sun is coming from the front. Here I'm shooting with the sun from the side. You see sun is coming from this way and here's shade, and it gives a nice contrast. Of course I'm looking into the direction where the sun is coming from, so my face is beautifully lit. But most of the time I shot with the sun in the background, like here. So here now the sun is in the back, which gives a really beautiful, nice light, depending on where I stand. If I stand right in front of the sun, you don't see much of that light, but if I stand a little bit next to it, you see a really nice light coming from behind me, and it gives really nice colors. And yeah, that was it.